To fine-tune the placement of hair, you'll need to move follicles. And to do that, we want to make sure we can only select follicles. So I'll go ahead and reference or hide some of these other layers. The strokes, I'll go ahead and reference that. The scalp, I'll reference as well. The head, I do want to be able to see through the head, so I'll just template that head. And then the output curves, interestingly, even if I reference that layer, I can still select the output curves in the current version of Maya. So I don't want to move the output curves. They're children of the follicles. So in this case, I'll just opt to completely hide that output curves layer. Okay, now I can only select follicles. And I can click on this one, get in close, and what I want to do is move that upward. But if I go to the Move tool, you'll notice that the manipulator is grayed out. You can see that it's just drawn in gray here. And I can't actually move that follicle. And all of the channels are locked over here in the channel box, so those transforms are not available. What we need to do is go into the Shape node for that follicle and adjust parameter U and parameter V using the channel box sliders. As with all the channels, you can select the name of the channel and middle mouse drag in the viewport to adjust that value. However, if we do this now, what will happen is the follicle will move so far that it will basically disappear from the screen and leaving some weirdness behind here. So we don't want to do that. I'll hit the Z key to undo that. I do want to make sure that I'm on frame 1, by the way, so I'll rewind back to frame 1. And in order to move the follicle more precisely, we want to change up some of the options here in the channel box slider area here. So these are the options for the channel box sliders. First up is to disable manipulators. So that's this button on the left. Click that one once and it'll turn manipulators off. Click it again, and now you have these other icons lighting up. And now what we're able to do is control the speed and the behavior of the channel box sliders. This little clock icon is the speed. What we want to do is click it a couple of times until we see that it's just a very small part of that little pie chart. And that means we're in slow speed. Then also this arrow is the acceleration of the mouse. And currently it's set to linear. We want it set to hyperbolic, so click it and you'll see the arrow become curved. And now we're in the proper mode to adjust the U and V parameters for the follicle. And once again, middle mouse, click and drag in the viewport and move your mouse left to right to adjust the selected attribute. I'll go to parameter V and middle mouse drag left to right to adjust the position of that follicle. And we can do that for a couple of these other ones. That is the process for moving follicles around on a surface. There is no other sort of intuitive way of just dragging and dropping. You'll have to do it through these channel box sliders. But you don't need to move these around a lot. It's not like you're going to need to, move every single follicle on your object. It's just a few here and there you'll want to clean up. Go back to the other side here, the other sideburn, and manipulate these in the same way. Just fine-tuning that look. Switching to parameter U and V as needed. Okay, so if we want to do this right, we'll just try to make these evenly distributed, more or less, across that surface. And that's how we can move follicles while they're attached onto a polygon surface.